big focus at this hour. While opposition spends every election season questioning the credibility of India's electronic voting machines, the world appears to be lining up to copy them. Right now, the third largest democracy, Indonesia, wants in on India's EVM technology. Prime Minister Narendra Modi is in Jakarta for a crucial two-day visit where India and Indonesia have inked over 10 mega agreements. And right at the center is a groundbreaking pact on EVM cooperation. Under this deal, India will not just share election management expertise, but will actively export customized EVMs engineered specifically for Indonesia. It's the ultimate global validation of India's democratic machinery, silencing critics. However, opposition continues to raise doubts, and the world, however, appears to be placing its trust in India's election technology.
फ्रेंड, लोकतांत्रिक मूल्य और विविधता में एकता भारत और इंडोनेशिया की साझी ताकत रही है। दोनों देशों के इलेक्शन कमीशंस के बीच एमओयू से हम डेमोक्रेटिक सहयोग को और मजबूत करने जा रहे हैं।
Now, Indonesia is all set to introduce digital e-voting by 2029 and is looking at India's expertise in election technology. Under this historic MOU, India will support Indonesia in election management, including the development of these customized EVMs and also transfer of poll management technology. The Election Commission of India will also share digital supervision tools and technical know-how with Indonesia. This agreement marks a major step in deepening cooperation between the two countries in the field of electoral reforms and technology. But why is Indonesia turning to India's EVM? The aim is to shift beyond paper ballots and make elections faster, more efficient, and streamline vote counting. Under the India-Indonesia partnership, customized EVMs will be developed to suit Indonesia's specific electoral requirements. While India's EVM technology wins global recognition, the political row at home has intensified. Congress has questioned the India-Indonesia EVM pact, raising security concerns and renewing demand for ballot papers. BJP is hit back, accusing opposition of playing politics over EVMs.
But on the one hand, when there is a complete respect for the election processes in India across the world, it is the opposition parties who selectively target Election Commission EVM and even SIR process just to suit their agenda. When they lose the election, they raise doubts. When they win the election, like in Kerala, they don't raise any doubts on EVM or SIR. It is conditional, it is selective.
Can we think of the possibility of going back to ballot papers, which even bigger countries, larger democracies have switched back to ballot paper? In such scenario, can we focus on taking our discussion to switching back to, which is fair, transparent process, is something which Congress party has been always asking.
रूबियो सुबियोटो जी हैं जो वहां के राष्ट्रपति हैं, शायद उनको मोदी जी ने बता दिया होगा कि भाई ईवीएम है तो आप हैं। शायद राष्ट्रपति जी और मोदी जी की बात हुई होगी कि जैसे हम यहाँ पर चुनाव जीत जाते हैं, जैसे आप भी वहां जीत सकते हैं।
वैसे इंडोनेशिया में मुस्लिम आबादी बड़ी तादाद में है, तो क्या बीजेपी के लोग मुसलमानों से सर्टिफिकेट दिलाना चाहते हैं देश की विश्वसनीयता का, चुनाव आयोग की विश्वसनीयता का?
Let's also tell you what other opposition leaders have spoken about regarding EVMs in the past. Serious concerns about transparency is what Rahul Gandhi has said in the past. Why is BJP insisting on EVMs is what Akhilesh Yadav has raised. If the poll was fair, BJP wouldn't have even won 40 seats, says Aditya Thackeray. Why use muscle power to silence wrongdoings is what Priyanka Chaturvedi, then spokesperson of Shiv Sena UBT, has said. The world is challenging the EVM. It's time we do the same. TK Shiv Kumar, Karnataka Deputy Chief Minister. Why is the Election Commission afraid of listening to questions? Pawan Khera, Congress leader. Now, these are some of the questions that have been raised time and again when it comes to electronic voting machines. Let's quickly open this up and take it across to our guests. With us is Shaina NC, National Secretary and National Spokesperson of Shiv Sena Shinde. We also have Dr. Mohammad Amin, former Joint Director of the Election Commission. Pooja Mishra, Spokesperson of Samajwadi Party, is with us. But my first question is to Amitabh Dubey, Spokesperson of the Congress Party. Amitabh, we're looking at a situation where other countries, and we cooperate with different countries. Some of them use our EVMs, Bhutan, Nepal, etc. There's a pilot project running in Nepal on EVMs. Others use, for instance, our indelible ink. And now Indonesia getting into this project with EVMs because they want to go past ballot paper. but the demands coming in from India are that we want to go back to ballot paper. Why is there this discrepancy?
So, Madhav, I think in your presentation just now, you conflated two separate issues. One is there is a widespread discomfort across the board with many parties with the EVM. Some of my party colleagues that you quoted have cited it, others have also cited it. But the fact is that for many years under the UPA and previous governments, we did use EVMs very carefully, and it was the BJP that was raising questions. But as a party, our official stance at the moment is to raise a number of questions about the election process, but we are not challenging EVMs. So when you say that Indonesia has signed an MOU, it's not an agreement yet, about EVMs, we have no problem with that. It's an MOU. They will develop the kind of EVM technology they want us to develop. Our party has been questioning the electoral management across the board. This is on the ground. This is not the Indonesian Election Commission. We're talking about the Indian Election Commission. It's to do with the way that the SIR has been conducted in a rushed way, with its an obvious impact in what we've seen in West Bengal, for instance. It's to do with how central forces were used in West Bengal in this election, pushing aside local law and order, which is what most state elections, how they are conducted, and they were literally excluded, which raises a lot of questions about election management. It is about the use of ED, CBI, and other agencies against political parties. You will remember that just before the 2024 general election, the Congress party's accounts were shut down.
Right.
The electoral bond scam, of course, was there.
Okay.
And even in West Bengal, IPAC was raided days before the election. So the TMC's, now the TMC is a separate party, but I can say that the TMC electoral machinery was attacked by the government of India and the state machinery. So these are very serious questions that go far beyond EVMs.
Okay, the questions are beyond EVM. Amitabh, many people have actually, we've played out some of those reactions specifically on the EVM point, but let me get in the Shiv Sena to respond to your point. It's about the larger problem of poll management. China NC, the conduct of the SIR, the managed with central agencies are misused at the time of elections. Those are the larger questions and concerns that we have, says the Congress party. Respond.
Look, the Congress party is taking the trophy when it comes to spreading a false narrative. If EVMs are untrustworthy, Madhav, why are other democracies lining up for them? Please answer. I mean, you know, we have seen election after election where the Congress wins, it is a natural mandate of the people. Where the Congress loses, it suddenly becomes EVM tampering. Do understand that SIR is only an exercise to clean up duplication of votes, to make sure that people who are, wrongly included in lists, whether it's infiltrators or anyone else, that it is a fortunate situation in India that we have been able to come up with conclusive evidence, CCTV footage, and all kinds of evidence to show that in the biggest, largest democracy, counting has always been proved and tallied really to the T. I want to just ask the Congress party, you know, that every time you tamper with or you come up with these baseless excuses, citing that the Election Commission is prejudiced or partial, and then you say EVMs are not perfect. I want to ask, you ask any foreign policy expert, and they will tell you that this technology cannot be hampered with, and it's absolutely foolproof.
Right.
You have seen it time and again. So for all those countries that are already using EVMs, like Bhutan, Nepal, Namibia, Fiji, Kenya, Indonesia now, I think that this is also testimony to the fact that these are vibrant democracies, right?
Let me bring it,
And you have...
Yeah, let me bring in other parties as well. I want Pooja Mishra of the Samajwadi Party to come in. Pooja Mishra, several years ago, the Election Commission had an open challenge, a hackathon for the EVM. But no political party was successful in actually hacking the EVM, which was the charge at that point of time, which was dominating the headlines, which was dominating the discussion, and even, you know, several court cases later, nobody's been able to prove how EVMs have been tampered with. So is this a debate that we should be putting past and going forward? There may be other issues of election management, but at least when it comes to the EVM, if the world is adopting the EVM, is it time for us to move on?
Good evening, Madhav, and good evening to fellow panelists as well. The interest of Indonesia doesn't decide that the process of election or EVM is safe here in India. Every country evaluate technologies, and they evaluate technologies, develop it, and develop in their own country with the safeguards. Now you're talking about the election commission asks every party to tamper the EVM. With what condition? The election commission put forward conditions like you need not to touch the EVM. You have to just from far away, you have to do the induction process like, and have to hack the EVM. And is it possible to do that? And in the process of election, EVM is not touched. And when you say that this the election commission asks opposition to prove that the EVM can be hacked, then you need to also say these facts as well. That if the election commission said that,
ma'am, the election commission said that because they don't physically allow anybody to touch the EVM. That is what they say. That all the randomization, all the first level checks, etc. that happen, they don't allow in their process anyone to tamper with it physically.
Madhu, without touching EVM, the EVM travels from this place to that place. Without touching EVM, the EVM opens. Without touching EVM, EVM gets charged.
Why don't we ask the election commission former official, Dr. Mohammed Amin, how is the EVM transported without touching? Samajwadi Party's question.
Can you repeat me the question again?
Well, the whole point is that when the hackathon happened, the question that I asked her is that no party could hack the EVM. But she says that's because of the conditions that election commission put, that you can't physically access the EVM or touch the EVM. And she says that how is the EVM transported without touching?
I am going to tell her that at that time when this issue was raised and the Delhi government minister said in their assembly that we can hack the EVM machines. So then EVM machines are certified by the even Supreme Court and the state courts also, and they are certified in the world also. And when I was there as the Joint Director and Chief of Protocol, we have a lot of MO signed with the other countries like the Bhutan, Nepal, Sri Lanka, Bangladesh. Even Pakistan Chief Election Commissioner was also interested to take these EVM machines. Now you see the third largest country, the Indonesia, has given the request to our Prime Minister, Mr. Narendra Modi, I am interested for the EVM machines for their general elections. So India has always the good things. You can see we are very intelligent engineers we have, and all the scientists we have. This is proved by the Supreme Court of India. So they don't have say anything for the transportation. I agreed, but transportation at that time there is no they are detected the cells. This is battery operated. So after before the display, they attach the batteries with the cell with them with the machines, not taking with the machines. So that's why these are the technical things, and you have not proved. Even no opposition party has come and proved to the election commission that they can hack it.
And it's transferred upon security. All those arrangements are well known because there's an entire process as far as the EVMs itself is concerned. But let me bring in Amitabh Dubey. One of the points that you make is about the fairness of the system. But the counter coming in from the BJP always is that if the system is unfair, how is it that opposition parties do well? Even in the recently held assembly elections, the Congress came to power in Kerala. We saw the TVK come to power in Tamil Nadu. So is the system, is it really fair to say that, the election commission is manipulating elections in that sense? That's a question that BJP would ask.
1 minute. I'm going to tell you, 2004, the EVM was started when the Congress government was in the power. How they can challenge it to the Election Commission of India?
Dubey,
every time they are challenging.
I got your point, Mr. Amin. Let Amitabh come in. Yeah,
Election
Amitabh
Commission,
Dubey.
This was which, as you correctly mentioned, was brought in. My colleague from the SP has raised some valid questions about the hackathon, which it is true that no one was given physical access to it. But the broader issue is, sorry, can you repeat the question? Because we got interrupted.
No, the basic question was about when you say that the election process is unfair, the larger issues that you're talking about, they're referring to the victory of opposition parties in recent elections in Kerala and Tamil Nadu as well.
So I want to point out that in 2019 and in 2024, by way of context, the ECI increased the number of rounds in West Bengal and Orissa in the general election and decrease it in other states. And our view was that the reason was that the BJP wanted to expand in those states. And so they gave them more phases so the Prime Minister, senior leaders could campaign more there. Similarly, now if tomorrow the BJP were to miraculously win in Kerala and Tamil Nadu, I think even BJP would die of shock. So it's not that manipulation is being done in an unwitting or in a foolish manner. Obviously, the manipulation is being focused on areas that are of interest to the BJP, whether it is West Bengal, whether it is the states where they want to expand. So, I mean, they're not complete fools. They're going to focus on areas that they're interested in.
Okay, Shaina NC, respond to that. It's calibrated or
please.
strategic manipulation. That's the charge of Congress. Respond.
Look, first, EVMs are standalone with no Wi-Fi and no Bluetooth. Point number one. Point number two, the VVPATs were introduced in 2013 for voter verification. Point number three, they have been used for 4 general elections, 400 plus assembly elections, and the Supreme happens. So if there are over 5.5 million EVMs in use, I want to question, why do you spread this kind of a narrative? You have seen the functioning of EVMs in neighboring countries, be it Bhutan or Nepal, all across, whether it's Namibia, whether it's Fiji, Kenya, Indonesia. So credibility that you talk about, why would people from other countries want it if it was untrustworthy? And if you're talking about a trust deficit, I want to ask the Congress party, every time you win, it's wow, wow, wow. Whenever the other parties win, it is EVM tampering. The Election Commission called every political party for a hackathon, showed how the systems are in place, how the CCTVs are used, what SIR is, why we need to clean up, why there are infiltrators and deceased voters. You need to clean up the list.
Okay,
this
Amitabh wants to rebut that.
For credibility.
Yeah, Amitabh.
There is no trust.
No, I'm just saying is that Ms. Shaina and the ECI, the gentleman official from the ex-official from ECI, keep talking about EVM manipulation, but the issue is with the management of elections in India. Now, Indonesia doesn't have ED, CBI raiding the opposition. Bhutan does not. Nepal does not. These are the issues. So we can keep talking about EVMs, but the entire system is rotten. And that is what we've been trying to raise all of this while. And one of the questions we have is not, we can raise questions. Of course, our job as opposition to raise it. But the ECI's response, when we raised the issues of machine-readable rolls, ECI ignored it. When we asked for video recordings in Maharashtra, they passed a law to prevent us from accessing that.
Okay, Mr. Mohammed Amin. Okay, Mr. Mohammed Amin, there are questions about how ECI is being managed. That's what Congress wants to say. Your response to that?
IIADM, no. This is not the subject of only EVM. We are having in Dwarka, we have the IIADM. Means International Institute of Democratic Management Institute, that is operated by the Election Commission of India, and all the mostly 36 countries are coming for training of the how to make the voter list, how to make the machines operation, how to go for this open elections. So we are having their tours also. Sometime their international officials are coming. We are taking them to the constituency, assembly election, parliament election, showing them how we are having the management of the election. So India is the best in all over the world for the election process. That's why the offer has come from the Indonesia. This is not the first time.
Pooja Mishra, why is it that so many countries are lining up? See, you may say that Indonesia doesn't decide India's election policy. All that is fine. But the point is that technology is a proven one. Why are we still politicizing it is the question that is arising.
Madhu, if a country is coming for EVM, give certificate to the Indian election process, then countries switching to ballot papers should also give certificate to the EVMs. We shouldn't be talking about which country is going for EVM, which country is not going for EVM. Japan and Netherlands, US. There are a lot of countries, Australia, who doesn't use EVM. Even Japan and Netherlands, they switched to.
Ma'am, the point is there was a lot of controversy internationally about operating system-based EVMs, and this is not such an EVM. That's what Mr. Amin was just trying to explain. It's like a calculator that cannot be tampered with.
Madhu, I'm PhD in chemistry, that too in physical chemistry. I work on dye-sensitized solar cell, and I know the electronic devices, and I know even calculator can be manipulated.
Okay. Dr. Amin, calculators can also be manipulated.
It can also miscalculate.
Please respond to Ms. Mishra. She says even calculators can be manipulated.
I'm going to tell you. Listen. No. Listen. Here, for the voting machines, we made a 17 seconds for one vote. And in case of the ballot papers, within half an hour, thousands of votes they don't need. That's why they are interested for the ballot votes.
Okay,
We are
okay,
not-
okay. So that's a charge, a counter charge as well. We've heard both sides of the debate, but I'd like to thank Shaina NC, Dr. Mohammad Amin, Pooja Mishra and Amitabh Dubey for joining us this evening.